It has been a crazy busy week for me, and why not add to it? I am so excited to be doing for the fourth month the Zero to Hero Raid Train, and I had the perfect item for it, and I can't wait to share the before and hang out till the very end to see the after. And then, you guys, I'm scheduling this early so that if you want to come and bid on it, you'll have plenty of time to find it. So make sure you check the link below in the description and click to get over there. So, Zero to Hero Raid Train is over on Whatnot. I have everything linked below. And here's my before. I'm not sure if this is an old CD box or what, but I knew I was going to decoupage it and I had an idea. So I was going to take Old 57 by DIY and I'm going to paint the entire box in this color. And you are probably thinking, but you just had out some recycled decoupage papers. And you're right, I did. And I want to put this white backed decoupage paper over this beautiful Old 57 color. It'll hopefully, in my head, have a really nice muted blue color underneath it. And I think it's going to be amazing. So this is raw wood, so it's going to really soak up the paint, and I know I'm going to need a good 2 coats on here. So we're going to put 2 coats on the top, 2 coats on the sides, but not the bottom. And you will see me here taping up that bottom so that I leave that clear. And you will see why in just a few. And while I finish this up and start painting this base, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I am the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor, as well as all of your DIY needs. I carry Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, DIY paint, Connie Lines and Designs, Roy Cycled Treasures, Iron Orchid Designs, and more. You can find us on all of the social medias as well as on our website, www.midwestcharm.co, no M, and you can contact me a variety of ways, all of that listed below, as well as our email address. So make sure you are hitting those areas up if you want to see more of this type of content. And let's get back to it. So the Zero to Hero, you have to have gotten something for $5 or less. I believe, because I got 2 of these boxes, and I want to say they were $2.99 each, maybe $3.99 each. And my daughter promptly scooped one up to store her acrylic paints in it. And this other one has been sitting underneath my work table for quite a while. And like I said, I've been wanting to do the white paper from Roy Cycled underneath, or I mean, over the darker color. I've been wanting to try it for a while, and I really haven't gotten a chance to do that yet. So it was the perfect time. And here we are going in with that 2nd coat, and you can see just so much better how beautiful that color is, and that you're finally getting what the true color is going to look like once this is all sealed up. I chose to use the Music Notes Masterboard by Roy Cycled Treasures, and I measured off where I needed to cut this, and I'm just going to cut straight across and start using this whole piece and decoupage it down. I do end up going back in and cutting off more to finish this up, but what I did was just line it up how I wanted it to be, draped the rest of it over. I have used a misting bottle to get that paper wet so that it stretches and all of the folds come out of it. And then I'm going to just go ahead and start by putting down some liquid patina and laying my paper back down over this, lining it up how I wanted, and then going over the top and smoothing out the wrinkles. And then we'll pick it up by the other end and just repeat that process all the way down to that corner. Now for these first 2 sides, I am going to go ahead and just roll that around the corner and not just do separate pieces for each. And then the other two sides we will do single pieces for. One, because that's how my paper turned out, and two, because on that front panel there is the little place where you would put like a word or something in there, and I want to make sure that my paper goes around that. And just guessing where it's going to be doesn't always work out for me, so I'm going to decoupage over that, and then we'll go back in. You'll see when we're all done and cut that apart. So here you can see I have folded it over and gave it another mist. And now I'm going to go ahead and put down more of this decoupage medium. And I'm using Crystal Clear Chandelier Liquid Patina by DIY. And again, going over the top. And this is the top part here. And I have put down liquid patina everywhere but where that little metal piece is. And I'm just removing the tape to make this lay down a little bit flatter. It was just up a little bit too much and I kept hitting it. And you'll kind of see it bubble up with air right over the center. And that's what we want, because we want that to be able to be cut apart. And I do go back in once I do have that done and seal it all down. But here I'm kind of tapping my brush end up against it to make sure it stays down. And then we're popping on this last side, and we're doing it a little bit different. I was starting out this way and I ended up having to lay it on its side. But we are giving it a good mist and then applying our paper and then smoothing it all down. I am really loving the look of this color underneath the paper. I just think it really gives it that softer look, and it's not so bright. And not that I don't love bright colors, because I do. However, I just had something different in my head when I was envisioning this piece, and it is perfect. So here we are, just applying the rest of that liquid patina, and we'll go in and smooth this side down. And yes, you'll see it overlapping there, and we will get all of that taken care of once this has dried completely. We're going to take our finger sander and just go around all of those edges on the bottom and any of the sides where there's that overlapping, and you can see it just peels right away. And if it doesn't, just go over it again and then it comes off super easily. And then we've got it kind of on this corner, the pieces kind of glued together. So I had to go from both angles there. And then you can see on the bottom, it peels off just as easily. We're going to get this trimmed up all the way around. I have removed the tape off the bottom at this point to make the sanding easier as well. And then I remove any of the paint that was on the bottom with the sander too. And here I am with that X-Acto knife going right around that little piece of hardware, and it's just going nice and slow. And because it's metal, my X-Acto knife will go right along there and not like slide into the wood. And then we're just going to find a spot where I can peel it up and then pull that part off. And then I do go back in with that liquid patina and seal down all of the edges there to make sure this has a really good seal before I move on. And then we are taking these little half rounds. If you watch my other previous videos, I use these on a frame to make it more elaborate. And I'm going to use these as little tiny feet. I didn't want anything too big on here, but I wanted it to be up off the ground just a bit. And here's a sneak peek. But I decided to grunge it up, y'all. I used some layered chocolate by DIY, and I watered it down. And you can see me making splatters on there. And to get the little coffee rings, I literally took a mug, dipped it in my paint, stuck it on there a couple different times, and y'all, it washes right off. And here is the final results, you guys. I used a little bit of clear wax. I totally grunged this up, and I also used some Decrepit dust too. Let me know what you think. What did you think? How did I do? Good zero to hero? Did I make it good? I hope you guys liked it. I fell in love with it, and I won't lie. I was texting with Connie, the painted photographer, and she gave me the idea to grunge it up with some coffee rings, and I love it now. So I hope you guys do too. Head over, bid this baby up, and come and buy a piece of the Zero to Hero Raid Train. We will see you guys all next time. Bye.